Hey, thanks for telling me you hear no sound. No, I didn't stop for a sound check at the beginning. Hello, it is February 24th, 2019. This is episode number 100 of the Bull Market Watch by IntroToCryptos.ca. And so, let me start again and talk about the purpose of what we're doing here. We're going through all of the cryptocurrencies on Poloniex, and we're reviewing them against a trend reversal trading strategy. This trend reversal trading strategy found the beginning of the bull markets in 2016, 2017, 2018, and so I'm using those very same strategies here to identify the actual beginning of the bull market. So this trend reversal trading strategy is something that you can go over to IntroToCryptos.ca and you can get that for free. So you can go to the website and click up to the free course up along the top. And when you sign up for this bull market watch, you'll get access to the free chapter. So you'll be able to download this PDF, and then you'll also get the spreadsheet as well. So you can click on this, download the PDF, and then click on mark complete to go to the next lesson. And away you are, picking things up for the spreadsheet. We got snow removal equipment in the background, and so it may be noisy. All right, let's get back to this. I apologize for that. The chat is working. Good to see. Send Crypto, thank you for checking in on the sound. All right, let's start through our routine now. So what we're looking for is a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and break of the downtrend line and the takeoff. So far, this was looking good, and then it was looking neutral, and now it's like a near fail. Just for bullishness index, not like as a trading signal. Let me make sure that's on the screen properly. Now we're running through the routine. This should take about 20 minutes to go through this stuff. And in the meantime, if you have a market you would like me to take a look at and do a commentary on that is not traded on Poloniex, let me know. So Bancor Network token is right down to the almost a fail to new lows. BCH ABC, what are you doing? So this is pulled back to near fail levels from a hold. And so what we're doing here is only a bullishness and bearishness index. It's not a trading plan. And so we're not talking about where your stop losses should be. We're not talking about should you hold it or not. We're just saying, is this bullish or is this bearish? Or is it neutral? And then we can chart that to give ourselves the overall view. Now, Bitcoin, is this bullish or bearish? Well, it's dropped back to neutral. It's not even a near fail. It's just kicked itself right back to neutral. And it would have been a good idea to be following where we first identified the breakout. Follow up with stop losses. Keep following up the price with your stop losses, and you would have been stopped out at a pretty nice profit from the trade that we had here. So maybe I should actually put that as an exit, as a cold fish, just for a habit. And we'll get into Bitcoin a little bit more. I actually do a different live stream every morning where I'm reviewing the price of Bitcoin, and I'm looking at 3 different indicators every single day on all the time frames. So we're really getting narrowed in on Bitcoin and identified some really good bearish patterns, and we're calling for a pullback there this morning just before, and it cracked down right to where I was calling it. Actually, I'll just quickly bring that up. This is sort of off topic. Does that fit in there? Good. So here, bearish BTC at this level, you can see where the price chart is just before, and all of the indicators were just looking like it was going to be going down, and I said I'm calling for 38.50, and AOL Chandra put in right away after that. She had the hunch too, 38.50, and sure enough, the timing was perfect. It came right down pretty much to 38.50, and that's where it's sitting right now. So if I drag this back out of the way in our Discord chat, so those are some of the alerts that our alert members, our alert subscribers get. Pretty good. And there she is at 38.64 now. So what will happen next? It's coming up from here. And I can, just my own belief in the momentum change that we have here, I think it'll be going up more. It may take a little while, but there's more coming yet. Let me take a look at the chat. Why did you remove the EMAs? You used to have them. Oh, I probably didn't intentionally remove them. I just haven't turned them on. So I have them here. There's the 60-20 EMAs, and here's the 200 period EMA. That's just a regular moving average. I didn't make it an EMA. And there's the Bitcoin price in the background. I always like to have that. And I always like to have that because I didn't pay attention to it at one time, and I feel it cost me a whack of money because I didn't trade correctly. I didn't pay attention to how Bitcoin versus alts were doing. So BitShares, we had said it was bullish, and even though it's pulled back a little bit here, it hasn't lost its bullish stance. Actually, it stays really good because it broke out above these levels, and it's only come back to retest them, but it hasn't broken down below them. So it's not going down to new lows. It's not going into neutral. It holds its status as bullish from that move. That's really good. Burst. All right, 1, 2, 3. It still stays neutral, but look at how little it reacted to the price of Bitcoin doing its big move. One second here. There we go. Now, let's go on to Clamcoin. Clamcoin we had as a hold. It's pulled back a little bit, but not much. So I would say that's still a bullish indicator. It'll go back to neutral if it pulls back from there. So not bad. From what I'm seeing here so far, I was waiting to see some devastated cryptos actually. So this is pulled back. We could say it's neutral. Yeah, I'll put it as neutral. It's not like just because of where it is in the chart, and I'm trying to get the bullishness and bearishness index, not trying to trade it. It's a different strategy here. This is much simpler than actually trading it. So this has come back. We were in a hold position. It's pulled back a little bit, so it has come back to a neutral stance too. So that's going to affect our chart at the end. Decreed really pulled back, I believe, and it's right at near fail levels, as it's been for a little bit. And so it didn't get, it went down as Bitcoin went up, and then it went down as Bitcoin went down. So I don't know what's going on there. And now we're looking at Digibyte, which had taken off out of our nice massive triangle, and now it's pulled back. Where is that triangle? Let's draw that in there again. So here and here, I guess it's kind of a flat bottom. And as it consolidated in there, we were pointing out that this would be a buy signal. And as it broke out above, we called it a buy signal. Now, the same as what did we just see in BitShares, it pulled back to the support levels, but didn't go deep into them, didn't go below them. So that's actually a bullish stance. And I like it. So pulling off of that is another range of buy signals, because it's proving that it's not a fake out breakout and it's not fading off from there. So Doge, it moved itself up to neutral just because of where it is there. EOS, I was so happy with EOS. It's pulled back a little bit, but if we had gotten into this is still way bullish. It's just come back up above these levels. And if we were to look at EOS over on Bitfinex, this is EOS US dollar. It has a lot more history, and that's important because this price just came up above these levels and held. That's huge for this market, and I'm going to leave that as a hold. And DRGN, please. Normally I pause here because I know the coins for most things. DRGN, and I don't know this one. DRGN. KuCoin, I'll go to DRGN BTC. 1 year view. Okay, so it's got some history and some nice history. Look at the crazy move there in January 2018. So this was a late bloomer actually. It just was released right at the right time, and everybody went bananas on this too. And then really worked its way down, 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 down. So we've got a nice formation set up here. I don't like the wicks of candles to the downside. It seems like it doesn't seem like it's got the strength of other things that are set up in the markets out of these bottom formations. You know, there are 3 waves of these cryptos that are taking off. We have things like that have taken off from the December 14th range. And if I go to the crypto signals and alerts package that we have, which is the more detailed version of sort of what we're doing here, but much more detailed. When we go down into these and we're looking at DLT, that's up 97%, EOS is up 78%, Theta, BNB, Litecoin, Link, ONT also, TRX, Storage, Rep. These are all coins that were taking off early. Let's go to the right chart here. So all these coins were taking off early in mid-December, and so they've already done a nice run up. That was like the first generation of the bull market coins. They're pulling back and hesitating a little bit. That's good. And then we have the second generation of coins that are already taking off now, and they're just on the edge. And those are some of the things that our alerts are. We're looking at our service has as alerts right now. They're not holds, they're not trades, they're lining up as alerts. We have their entry signal, their stop loss signals, and all those things set out now. This would be one of the 3rd or maybe the 4th generation coins that is going to lag behind. So we'll have another run of other coins taking off, and this one will pull up afterwards. So keep an eye on it, because there's going to be those waves where you're going to be like not a triathlon, but where you have the team races and people are handing the baton from one racer to the next and then finishing off. So what we're going to do is take the baton from DLT, from Link, from those fantastic profits, and we're going to reinvest it into the second wave coins, and it's going to go up 40-80%. Then we're going to take profits and we're going to invest into the third wave coins, and it's going to go up 30-80%. And this did so incredibly well for me last time in the last few bull markets. I am super excited to see it starting to unfold now. So I really appreciate that you brought up this DRGN chart, because it's one of the ones that is showing that later, it'll be blooming later. It's one of those later flowering flowers. Very cool. So EOS, we marked it as a green still. It's still a hold. It's still doing great. Now Ethereum Classic, oh, it really pulled back. So we had it as a hold there. I'm going to put it right back to a neutral. And you know, this is where I'm dropping back to neutral, but I should be saying that it's an exit. It's a cold fish. Just for data and just to follow along things that we were in, and then we didn't. Then we said we would. If they're going here, they should be a cold fish, because we were in it. It's the same as neutral. We're not going to be trading it. I just want to be able to track how many of them we are getting in and getting out of, so that later, as we're scanning through this visually, we can see it all. Make sure I put that where you can see it too. Sorry. Ethereum also pulled back, but this is still above our entry. The moving averages haven't crossed over at all. I would say this is still, would still stay as a green. For the way I like to trade is that once you get into a position, you put your stop loss just above your entry and you wait. Give the market time to, because we're looking for the trend change. It's an appropriate time to be trying to risk for holding on at the beginning of the trend. It's a different strategy than a choppy market trend or a swing trader's trade. And we go over the differences between those in the course that we are teaching, that we have over on IntroToCryptos.ca right now. And actually, right now in the video, I'll stop and talk about the 3-week intensive cryptocurrency trading course. Registration is on right now. Next registration is going to be March 26th to the 30th. So if you don't take the course this time, you won't be able to take it again for at least another 4 weeks before it registers again. So today only, there's the $1,600 fast mover bonuses. In 9 hours, those disappear and the price goes up. So we've actually got a great turnout. I'm good to close registration right away and start the course. So we'll see how this goes. If we get a few more people, that'll be it. We'll shut her down and just jump into the course. And so the course, people say, how successful is it? It's based on the same thing that we're doing in our alert signals. The alert signals is for the do-it-yourselfer who wants to learn on their own and get the signals and just do their own trading. And for the cryptocurrency trading course, those are for people who want to have that handheld, step-by-step instructional guidance. So you get the book, and then we go through the book like a university course would, where you have the instructor teaching through the textbook. Week number 1, we talk about the dangers of trading and getting ready to protect yourself against them. So key, so important. And I learned this after losing my money twice. Lost it completely when trading in commodities. And then I learned these lessons. So I teach them first in the course. They are so important. Week number 2, we go into all the trading tools that I use in this trading plan. And so the course was like a trading plan turned into a course. It's not the normal cryptocurrency trading course you find out there. Lots of great stuff in week number 2. Week number 3, we put it all together so that you can have the entire picture in your mind of the beginning, the middle stages, the final stages of the whole trade. And there's many different stages of it, many different ways to approach it. So I'm super excited to be putting this all together again. It's my own trading plan explained in detail, so it really helps me out. I'm fantastically happy to have people along in the course too. So most crypto are looking to break their December high. Some already went back to the October-November high. Yes, very exciting times, it is. And then Viva, good to see you here. I appreciate your comments and your conversation underneath these videos afterwards. So he's saying, it baffles me that people still think crypto will never hit mainstream adoption. Yeah, nobody sane will invest in an asset that slowly climbs 10% for 3 weeks, then flashes down in 10 seconds. It is a complete piss off, these cryptocurrency trading. It is difficult. It is risky. And this is why in week number 1 of the course, I go over that stuff that I didn't know at the beginning. It cost me so much money and so many years. The course, well, head over to the website, check it out. That you can take the free training, you can take the alerts package, or you can dig in deep and get into the course and have that personal time and the lifetime membership. Days like this always reminded me to cash out of my profits to fiat. Well, yeah, it is kind of a piss off. It is. It's definitely a struggle. And yet, when I did the video this morning, I was calling for just this. And it wasn't because I'm a genius or anything. It's because the indicators tell me that. And the indicators tell me that because I've gone just like this, gone into these crazy spreadsheets to figure everything out and document everything and detail everything so that times like now, I have the pattern recognition of what to do when the markets do a certain thing. And then it's like flying a plane. If you know all the procedures for flying a plane, it's very safe. Most planes are safer than driving a car for people who have practiced it. Right? You have to know all of the different things in order to fly a plane successfully. You have to know what to do when an emergency comes up. When things happen, you just do it automatically. Now let's continue moving on because I could keep going on. I always get off track. Factum is still looking like at least an alert. It didn't really get beat up too bad from Bitcoin's big shenanigans here, pulling back. So that's pretty good. I like that. And it's good to find the markets that are not falling when Bitcoin is and pay attention to them. So foam is another one that I'll leave it as neutral here now, but it's actually will pick up to be an alert if it starts to move up off these levels. And that it didn't move back as Bitcoin went down is pretty cool. It's almost like I should have a separate row on the spreadsheet now to identify markets like game that didn't go back. I'm going to leave it as an alert. It didn't go back as Bitcoin came down. So what's up with that? Why are some of them not affected? Look at the little wee bit of effect here, and it's got some green candles. It didn't even pull. You know, that's really great to see. No flinching there. And I'll leave that as a hold. GNT. Okay, you're back down to near fail. This is another example of a coin that I got to know the project. I got to be super excited about it. I thought it was going to be changing the world, and then I traded it terribly because I because I liked the project. So the less I like the project, the less I know about it, and the more I just stick to the charts, the more methodical I am with it, and less attached to it. That's what it is, less attached. So this I'm going to put back to a neutral just for measuring our bull bear index. It could jump right up tomorrow for sure, but neutral for now. This one stays as a hold. It's still looking good, and it didn't get beat up as Bitcoin went back. So there's actually, it would be great to mark them out to see a percentage, like 16% of them didn't go back and whatever. Like, okay, Loom definitely felt it. As soon as it started to break out, it got slapped down. And we had it as an alert. See, this is the kind of thing that's really difficult. You could get tagged in on this because it comes up to these breakout levels, and there are strategies for approaching that. I'm going to move it back to neutral, and we do talk about this specific kind of situation in the course, and we have videos of examples of these fake out breakouts and what happens with them and how to play that, so that you're reducing your risks and you're not getting beat up by them. And if you are doing them, and of course they will, but they don't turn out to be huge losses. So near fail on Lisk, that's looking terrible. Litecoin really pulled back, but because we got in as it broke out of this wave, we're still laughing. And if I go to a 1 year view and look at a longer term, it could still pull back. It would still be not a problem for it to come back and retest these levels and then build on from there. And it wouldn't change the momentum of the trend at all. But is it a hold right now? If I zoom in on this, I'll leave it as a hold. I'll leave it as a bullish index. And I may be wrong on that. If I zoom in and zoom in, I'll leave it and we'll see what happens tomorrow. So MadeSafe coin, I've been raving about this one, and it's not looking like much of anything right now. So I won't rave now. As soon as it's starting to take off, I'll start talking about it again. This one, I think it'll go somewhere as well one day. I think, because it's the virtual world. I think it may take a while for it to pick up, but it's going to be a great revenue producer as well. So Nav coin, you know, this is a very thinly traded coin. It's a great looking chart, but it is so light in market cap and so little bit of trading volume that to trade this on any kind of size is virtually impossible. I'm going to put it to a near fail, and it's going to do some great moves. It's going to look fantastic in percentage wise. Whoa. Got a major wrong way. I was expecting this was going to be going straight up. That was definitely wrong. It really got slapped as Bitcoin came down. So somebody sold out of their stuff, whoever, you know. So definitely wrong on that one. But that's not a chart pattern I would ever trade, because it doesn't match any of these specific requirements that my trading plan looks for. So this, I'll give it a neutral. It didn't react very much as Bitcoin came down, but how much more down can it go? How many hours does a person following your trading plan need to commit per day? Is it spread through the day with alerts overnight? my trading plan is set up so that you should be able to run it in about 10 minutes a day. It's not a day trading strategy. I really only do a few trades, really very few trades. I monitor the markets. I'm always watching them. I'm doing these videos and I'm doing the studies. But for the actual trading, really, I would go through this whole thing in 10 minutes and I'd go, okay, my trades are, there's nothing to do, or there is something to do. Some days it's really busy because all the cryptos go together. So some days it seems like everything is going all at once, because it is. OMG, we have a little 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and it's taking off here. We're looking at the 12-hour bars. The moving average crossed over. I got to jump this up to a hold. What's going on? This went up as Bitcoin came down. No, okay. It went up and then it dropped back as Bitcoin came down, but really has bounced nicely. Wow. There's my little chime. I put my phone on airplane mode, but the chime still goes. Omni, not looking good. I'll leave it as a near fail. Pascal. Looks terrible. I'll put it as a fail, just to punish it. PPC. Alright, that'll leave this as a near fail. And I did skip over Poly, which is a fail. There's a long time to wait for Poly to turn around into a trading pattern that this system would be able to do anything with. All right, this took off and then it's pulled back. So I'm going to put it as a exit as a cold fish. And we're on to rep, which we had as a cold fish and then back to neutral. It really did a good move. Okay, so our cold fish was a really good idea. It's still, I'm going to put it as a near fail now. And I probably should have had it as a near fail yesterday because the moving averages have crossed over, so it's not a near fail. That's a real fail. SBD, the mystery thing, is still a mystery. I call it a fail, but it's pulled itself up to neutral here. And Siacoin is neutral. What did this do to it? It only knocked it back a Satoshi. So if you had turned, that's not bad. Neutral, I'll give it. SNT was an alert. Probably not today. Yeah, it's pulled back to neutral status. So it'll go back to alert status if it gives any strength, and it'll turn into a hold above that green line. Now Steam was a hold, but I'm gonna have to say it's turned into a cold fish. And so it turns into a cold fish, and you get out of this trade if it hasn't proven you correct. If it's no longer proven you correct, this one is still proving us correct. I'll leave it as a hold. No, I guess I have to put it as a near. I don't know. I'll put it as a near fail. It's not one to get out of. I'm going to have to leave this as a bullish, as a hold right now. Because you have to give the market some room to breathe, right, after it's done a big move. So Stellar pulled back, so it was an alert. I'll put it back to neutral. It has to rebuild up to that alert status again. We're getting almost there. Strat down, double, triple, quadruple bottom, so a near fail. And that really dropped off. I was not expecting that from Stratus. I really was seeing this as building up to some really fantastic bull moves. And down it came. So it's still holding above these support and resistance levels, which is good. Gives a nice clear spot. And a swing trader would be all over that. We'd be checking out the RSI and some of the oscillators to be sure, but that would probably be very inviting for a swing trader. What are we looking at? Syscoin. Syscoin. Okay, now I'm starting to recognize it as I pull it up far enough to see. So it's pulled back, and it already pulled back to neutral. So I'm going to have to put this as a cold fish up here. So we do that correctly. And then I'll leave it as a cold fish. Just for, we'll see how this works out. Viacoin. So we had that. It went from a hold back to an alert, which is kind of tricky to do. And I'm going to leave it as neutral now. So this wouldn't really work for trading. You can't just switch back once you've said it's a hold and switch it back to neutral. That doesn't work out. This I'm going to still do as a hold. And so in our alerts package, we don't do this. This color coding is for the bull bear view. Counterparty, it's down to these double bottoms. It was a good swing trader's entry yesterday. It's pulled back a bit, but still holding on. I'll leave it as neutral. And then XEM was making a nice bottom formation, a little wee bottom formation. What's it doing now? Okay, I like it. It's staying inside this 1, 2, 3. It didn't really get hammered down as Bitcoin pulled back. It held its own there pretty good. That's great. That really builds out this consolidation pattern. If I go to the 3-month view now, when this ticks up and starts to cross above, our moving averages probably will cross as well. So I'll leave it as neutral. XMR is probably pulled back from where it was. Yep, okay, but it's still neutral. Neutral, and I like that it's got higher lows here. So it's got higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and even after that Bitcoin pullback, it's still maintaining the higher lows. That's bullish. XPM and then Ripple, the controversial Ripple. This one I'll say is neutral. And I say controversial Ripple because Ripple's been like sliding down hard, big time. But if we go over to Bitfinex here, and I want to go down to Ripple BTC, so you can see how it's been sliding down, little green candle here. But if we look at Ripple US dollar, it's holding its own. It's got bottoms that it's holding here, higher lows, higher lows. It's holding its lows. But this is just showing that Bitcoin is going up faster than Ripple. And that's why Ripple price versus Bitcoin is going back. So it's kind of weird that Ripple prices are going up, Bitcoin prices are going up, but Ripple versus Bitcoin is actually going down just because Bitcoin's going up faster than Ripple. Even it's a 3D puzzle, but it's still not time to buy this if you were looking at it as a trade. Ripple and roll back down here. So what was Ripple anyway? Still a near fail. Zcash, almost a near fail, but I'm going to put it as neutral. Fail. All right, now the moment that I like to wait for at the end of the study is to copy and paste this formula down so that our charts will update here and we'll see what a change it's been. I'm still waiting for the day that we have that rampant bull take off. Right now we see a lot of near fails pick up. We see a lot of the fails, the cold fish have picked up. Looks more bearish. If we go down and look at the bearish bullish index, for sure we've lost a lot of the bullish stance and a lot of the bearish really stepped up in that 1 day of trading moves. That's quite a sharp change. That's one of the bigger changes that we've seen in a 1 day overhaul of our study. Phenomenal. It is painful to watch your profits come down. I wish my bias wouldn't prevent me from shorting. Wouldn't prevent you from shorting. Yes, you must get rid of that bias. You can be an investor and buy low, sell high, but then you have to sit on your hands and do nothing all the way through a downtrend. There's nothing you can do. You've taken off one of your arms if you're not willing to go short. So as a trader, you really got to exercise that. Even if you're paper trading, start practicing it and start watching for that so that you have that tool Then you can be like an accordion. It plays music as you're squeezing in and it plays music as you're squeezing out. So should the markets. So your target was actually 4,100, but I didn't close my position because I was waiting for 5,000 just like you. I didn't expect it to correct so fast either, for sure, but I did act on it when I saw those details pulling together. And let me now go to Bitfinex, Bitcoin, 1 day. So we're looking at the 5-minute bar. I'm going to pull back and let's see which indicator I have down here. We have the RSI. So as it's sitting up here, I'm going to go to the 15-minute view and we're looking at it right here. This is where I took action because I'm watching it and I didn't like what I was seeing here. You know that we're looking for 1, 2, 3 bottoms, but you also need to know that the 1, 2, 3 tops work just as well. Let me scribble it. So number 1 is the highest price in the recent price action, whatever time frame it is. This was the number 1 at a period of time, and it stayed the number 1 all the way along. Nothing went higher, nothing went higher. That stayed the number 1. This was the potential 1, 2, 3 top formation here. It was looking actually like it was going to go down at some of these points here. And then whoosh, up it went. Now we have a new number 1, a new number 1, a new number 1. That's our number 1. Prices came up and tried to break above the number 1, but they failed. So as it's coming down here now, those are potential number 3 points. So we got the 1, we got the 2, we got the number 3 point. Prices broke below the number 2. 1, 2, 3. Prices broke below. There's a sell signal right there. And the RSI is diverging. It's looking weaker as prices are holding flat, which tells me that there's something not going on correctly underneath there. So let me load up the suite of indicators here. Always makes me have to refresh the page. Now I can zoom back into the 15-minute bar. Pull this back and start identifying what do we need to see when it's topping out, because this is really important. This is key. This is the other half of the coin. This is your left arm to your right arm, is knowing when to always be, as soon as prices are going up, you're looking for the top formation. As soon as prices are going down, you're looking for the bottom formation. For my style of trading, there's a million ways to trade a market. Hey, Purity Page, good to have you along. The chat window is hiding the charts. Thank you, I appreciate that. Editor. Is that better? No. And chat box, boom, out of there. It's in the wrong spot. I guess I could move it. Probably still going to be a pain in the ass. So, hopefully, Viva Mexico. Viva Mexico. Long live Mexico. Hopefully this helps, because the exit is so important and it's a key part of our course. It's actually a growing importance part of our course that I've been doing more and more and more videos on to be emphasizing, because many of the people who took our course were people who had purchased in the past and they ran up some fantastic profits and then they never sold. They never took profits. And there, of course, we know what's happened over the last year, that some people have lost 90% in their holdings because they just didn't sell. They didn't have a strategy of when to sell. And so that's a big thing of what we're going over. No, you can't short on all the exchanges, and sometimes it requires the problem. I was sleeping during the time. Yeah, it is a pain in the ass. Trading is difficult. It is not easy. It is really dangerous. It It is really difficult. So the risk control rules that we use are so important, and the planning and the stop loss procedures that we use to protect that money is so important. It really is not an easy game. And so, no, Ed, you can't short on all the exchanges. So say I have $10,000 worth of cryptocurrencies on Binance, and you can't short on Binance at all. And I've got it all spread out to, I don't know, say $300, $200 on in each of a whole bunch of different cryptocurrencies. So I've got a nice, wide, diversified cryptocurrency portfolio. They're all going to go up and down pretty much together. You know, a little bit basically they all go up and down together. And so my $10,000 cryptocurrency portfolio will be going up. It's $12,000, it's $13,000, and everything's all topping now. And it looks like it's going to pull back a little bit before the trend continues on. Maybe it's topping out and it's going to be coming down. Instead of selling my coins on Binance, I could have $2,000 over on BitMEX, and I could put a short call on BitMEX on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, a third each of my money short on all three of those. And so as those went down, I would make money on my short position, but all of my cryptos would be going down as well, right? So I'm counterbalancing the loss of my crypto portfolio by going short over on Binance, BitMEX. And so we talk about this in the course as well. It's called hedging your bet. And it's a lot easier way to make sure that your portfolio keeps its value even in a downtrend, even if in a falling market, without having to really worry about having a naked short, which can be very risky to do. So it's not quite a naked short, you're hedging, and we talk more about that. So if you got a different market you'd like me to take a look at, I'd be happy to. This was an important one to go over some of the details here in what exactly happened at this moment. And even through this period of time here, the indicators were looking like we were in a top formation. So even as it was coming up here, things were looking like it was weakening off. It was running out of steam even as it came up here. So as it blasted up that last little bit, it was doing it on no power, no steam. Like, look at the size of the trading volume here compared to here. It didn't have as much juice to move it up there. So then down it came. It'll probably do more. So stay long on your trades until you're ready to totally sell out. In order to reduce your risks, at the beginning of a trade, I recommend that you scale in so that you buy part of your trade. If it proves you correct, you buy some more of the trade. And we talk about when to add on to a trade so that you're building that correctly. And as it's time to be taking profits, I recommend that you scale out as well. So you'd be taking some of your profits on part of the top formation, and on the confirmation of the top formation, you'd take some more of your profits. And as the top formation, became obvious, then you would take the rest of your profits. So you're not trying to buy at the bottom. You're not trying to sell at the top. You're getting in a little bit late, a little bit after everybody else, so that you're protecting yourself against those fake out breakouts. And then you're getting out after other people. You're getting out after the top is done, and you're proven that the trend is finishing and it's not going to continue on. You don't want to miss out on those fantastic profits. So there are, again, strategies for it. And as you know, I am very methodical in my research and my studies. So this bull market watch study is great because every day it's adding value to it. It's getting more and more valuable because we can see what to do with each coin all the way along. And we can start to see what to do with all of our coins and other markets just by the bullish and bearishness index of the whole market. So this is really good. Then we have the mega crypto alerts package, and this is the Polo watch, where we're getting into the exact area that we're entering, our target for profits, where our stop loss is, and after the trade is done, we mark down our exit price, our exit date, our exit screenshot, and we calculate our final profit and loss. And then we go over and we study how many springboard trades were profitable and how many were failures. What was it about the springboard trades that worked? What was it about them that was not working? What can I do to protect myself and do better later? How about the trend continuation? What about this simple trading plan? What about the range breakouts or the 1, 2, 3 bottoms on the 4-hour time frame? All of these different things we study, we take them apart, we get down to it so that you can improve your trading. So there's a ton of detail. I do a lot of research because I made such great profits in the last run. I know it's worth all of my time to get this correct and to really study the daylights out of it, because it's going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars out of just 10. It's absolutely going to happen again. And there was a great chart put into our chat. We got all sorts of conversation over there in our Discord. Let me bring this up and drag it over. Yeah, it works. Oh, there, look at that. Do I think it'll go lower? Bitcoin is sitting on the Fibonacci, the 0.5 fib now. Look at this chart that Olscott shared in our Discord. He says, just to keep the perspective, this is the monthly bars. Look at how it went up. Insane. So will it do this again, or were we just lucky as could be to be at the right place at the right time? I think it's going to be going up more. But we could be wrong. We'll have to see. Just to keep it in perspective, I think we're going to see some crazy things happening, and we're at the right time at the right place for this. So for Bitcoin prices, I do think that they are going to be going back up from here. Bitcoin USD, 3-month view, 1-month view. Here's our 1-month view, 1 month, 1 day bars. The moving average is just getting ready to cross over. So we have this nice 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. We've got a double top here. It could move along and now continue making it the ascending wedge triangle that is so powerful. In fact, nothing can stop it. But look how long it could take. This could take a while for it to bounce around inside this range. And if it did that, that would be awesome. We would be able to, it would do such a powerful breakout from that. It would be very awesome. Let me clear that off. And another thing that I've been looking at is I'm always trying to see where the parallel channels are. They work out so often. It's just kind of weird, actually. It's kind of freaky to see that once they get into a parallel channel, it's like they're stuck in it. And I want to see now if Bitcoin is going to do something like this over the next while. So it does seem to me that this is going to be where it holds. And if it doesn't, then this kind of chart pattern helps us be really clear about where to be getting out. There's a better setting of it. Previous resistant turns support, grab the Fibonacci. Yeah, it is at the 50% level. And that 50% level is great support and resistance all the way along. If I grab this and tack it, then let's go back to way in the past to where the support and resistance was, just to take a look at it. Really good. Beautiful, right through some really great areas. That's right where we are right now. So yeah, I think it's going to be holding in here and going up from here. But I could be wrong. And I always start off with the assumption when I'm putting on a trade, I'm assuming that I am wrong. And then I'll take that trade off unless it proves me correct. So I have to wait for it to come to a specific chart pattern before I can actually make a trading decision. And so I have to be watching for a specific chart pattern. Other than that, I just play odds and the risk control rules. Let's see what's going on here on the chat. Now let's wrap it up then and see what we've got for our... We've got more of a bearish index right now. We've got a whole bunch more near fails than we had before. And this pie chart actually doesn't have the right data. Take me to that range. I'll fix that later then. And that about wraps it up for today. We went through a good chunk of charts, really reviewed some great stuff, introduced what's going on with the cryptocurrency trading course, a little bit about the alerts, some good details about some Bitcoin trading, and I am looking forward to the Bitcoin live stream tomorrow morning to see what's going on with that. Anyway, thanks very much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys being here. This is a great study, and I hope that it helps us all make some fantastic profits. Cheers, thanks again, and hopefully everybody has a great week all lined up. Bye for now.